Get our YouTube live up. We're getting our Periscope. Let me get us right. There we go. What's up, Scope? Peace. Waiting for my YouTube to load up. I need like a little stand. Let's see. Periscope, we do like this. Y'all can see me. Cool. All right, start broadcast on YouTube. Okay, we're broadcasting. Facebook Live, what's up? Periscope, what's up? Kings and Queens, peace, peace, peace. Why is my YouTube Live not broadcasting? What's up with us? I just see a picture of me. I don't see what I want to see. Something ain't right. Facebook Live too. They playing us, man. We're trying to go live. They playing us. They hacked into our shit. Are you watching YouTube? Can you see the YouTube Kings or the Facebook Live? Anybody on that as well? From Periscope? You guys on the Facebook Live or the YouTube? All right. Well, I'm gonna rock out, man. I'm rocking out. However it is, I need to get this off my chest, off my mind, off my heart, off my spirit, and I got work to do. So I want to give everybody some game, right? So everybody pay attention. Like, for 1 second, please blank your minds of all your preconceived notions, all your thoughts. I know you're all smart. You're amazing people, kings and queens. I got it all figured out. But I just need everybody to blank your minds for 1 second and allow me to teach. Just 1 second. Just be a student for 3, 4, 5 minutes and see if I have any sense about me, right? So I want to give us game because a lot of times we don't really get good, concise education regarding our social issues, and therefore we just go with what media says or what we just currently know. A lot of times we don't be knowing, so we have screwed up opinions and things. So we all, or many of us, seen the incident that happened with Korryn Gaines, the queen out of Baltimore, who got killed by police, supposedly had a shotgun with her. Her son was with her. Her son got shot. We saw the videos. They're on my Instagram channel at Mr. Morrison. Queen was turned up. She's telling the police, y'all not kidnapping me. Y'all not taking my car. You're not taking my baby. I got traffic tickets. Y'all talking about that crazy stuff. Like, don't come to my house. You know what I mean? Like, she took a stand, and she could have, I'm sure, been more passive, been more conservative, and all those things. I totally understand that. But here's a game I want to give us. We all saw Gavin Long, who killed the 3 police officers in Baton Rouge, right? We all heard about that. That was on my Fox News interview. Fox News interviewed me because the day before Gavin Long killed 3 police officers and shot 3 others, he tweeted one of my quotes. My quote was, the American government hates black people. No, excuse me. The American government is a hate group. They hate black people, right? We saw Micah X Johnson, they called him, or Micah Johnson, who, mind you, Gavin Long was a former U.S. military, and so was personnel, and so was Micah Johnson, both in either the Marines or armed services of some sort for the United States, and both killed police officers, one in Dallas and one in Louisiana. And then we seen Queen, get into a confrontation with police officers as well yesterday, right? And we see this climate escalating in our country, right? They call it racial tension. But what you see in all this racial tension, quote unquote, you don't see it being one race against another. What you see is one race fighting back, pushing against the oppression of their race. And I want to explain that to you. So many of us have heard Malcolm, Martin, Marcus Garvey all use this word oppression, right? And I'm not excusing any murders. It's not what I'm doing. I want you guys to blank your minds for a second and just learn. Just let me teach for a second. So what you have to understand, and so I was saying to Charles Payne on Fox News, you have to get to the root of these problems. So if people are snapping out, right? You have these military armed these trained U.S. armed servicemen using those same skills they use to kill people over in the Middle East on American police officers. And you have a young queen out of Baltimore who snapped out and loaded a shotgun, supposedly. That's what the video looks like it showed. Loaded a shotgun on her lap with her son in the room with SWAT team out front for traffic tickets. But you have this climate, right? You have people like myself, Carmelo Anthony, other leaders, celebrities, people with money, risking their money and their livelihood and their corporate sponsorships all on the line, which is small compared to people risking their life for our people. But my whole point is that let's get to the root for 1 second. So we're upset, and rightfully so, that maybe some of our Africans in America, our brothers and sisters, are snapping out, are being aggressive, are not turning the other cheek for the first time in our history, right? Or for the first time in a long time in our history. But think about this one thing, right? Before you make any of your judgmental comments, and I'm talking about black people included, because there's many of us that judge our own people. Before you make judgment, think about this first. If the American government never treated black people in the way in which they have historically for 398 years since 1617 or 1619, one of those two, but have never treated us the way they have, would blacks or Africans in America have any reason to ever act out? Would Gavin Long ever had taken it into his hands to take a stance as an alpha male and go stand up against or shoot police officers, which he thought was his solution or duty for our people, or Micah Johnson, or the Queen, Korryn Gaines? What ever brought them to the point of acting in such a way? Was it this mass incarceration that happens towards their people? Is it the police targeting that statistically happens more towards Africans in America than any other nationality of people? Is it the fact that we go to prison through this 13th Amendment slavery loophole and work for free in prison or for pennies a day? Is it stop and frisk? Is it the prison, the school to prison pipeline? Is it the effects of trauma from their parents who suffered war on drugs and who suffered COINTELPRO and suffered black codes and Jim Crow? Is it that trauma that was passed down from their parents, from their grandparents, who suffered lynchings and peonage and vagrancy tactics and enslavement? Like, you can't put water on a stove and turn the stove on high and be pissed the water boils. Leave the freaking water alone. And you don't have any boil over. So when you talk about, everybody handles it differently. I use my gifts and my talents to uplift, unify, heal, and repair my people in my way. I use my resources, my financial freedom, my education, my stagemanship, my ability to teach. I use my talents in my way. I'm not a shooter, unless you push me against a wall. So everybody in our community has different gifts, different talents, different purposes. Assata Shakur had hers. Huey P. Newton had his. Marcus Garvey had his. Fred Hampton had his. Everybody has a different gift. Martin Luther King had his. Malcolm X had his. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad had his. Mr. Farrakhan has his. We all may disagree about our ideologies, religions, and approaches to dealing with oppression, but let's face it, goddammit, we dealing with oppression. And if you don't understand what oppression is, let me break it down for you. If you never pressed the oppression word in your Google search engine and looked it up for yourself, let me break down the big word for you. What oppression is a burdensome treatment, meaning a treatment that is weighing down heavily on a people by an authority. So when the Africans came over here to America, when the Africans were kidnapped from Africa and forced over to America in the mid to early 1600s, ever since then, every year on year, we have been burdened down by an authority, an oppressor, by some people over us. Every single year on year. Not one year have we had it fair while we've been in this country. And so when that tension is passed down from generation to generation to generation, and we wake up and can do our own history on what we've actually been through, and not just the made up, oh, slavery is free, oh, we all got equal rights, what are you complaining about? That's not real history. That's your fake, watered down version of history. But when we're able to look it up for ourselves and look at the real condition of our people and what we've been through, not as a color. Y'all made us a color and called us black. See, it's not black people fight. I seen President Obama talk about, well, there's a color of people, black and brown people, that are getting unfair treatment in America. Nah, it's not a color. You're not offending us because of our color. You are burdening us. You're oppressing us.
You are giving hostile treatment to us. You're acting averse to us. There's a level of antipathy towards us, or mislike, or dislike, or hatred towards us because we're African people in America. You don't fuck with it. You ain't never fuck with it. You ain't never fuck with us. You ain't never love us. That's why there's this resentment, these angry black men, these angry black women. It's because you had your foot on our neck ever since we got here as African people, and we need to breathe. That's the problem. African people in America have not been able to breathe since we got here. Y'all continue to mash on us and expect us to turn the other cheek. So when you see Queen act out yesterday, and maybe she was handling it in her own way, handling the trauma in her own way. We all got different mental overloads. Have you ever got to the point of stress where you want to break down, where you want to cry, where you want to lash out, where you did something outside of your character? Have you ever been that frustrated where you broke a glass, broke your phone, yelled out, screamed out, hurt somebody or hurt yourself? Everybody deals with drama and trauma a different way. So you want to always blame the traumatized. You want to always blame the victim. You want to always blame the person, the peoples with an S. Look up the word peoples with an S if you don't know that. Peoples with an S is different than people without an S. People without an S is an individual person or people. People with an S stands for a nation of people. When the United Nations talks about peoples or origins or nations, it's peoples with an S. Do your math, do your history, do your facts. So this peoples over here, these peoples, these African peoples over here are sick and tired of being sick and tired. This generation is lit. We not having it. So the point being is that it's not about condoning or not condoning. What I don't condone more than anything, I don't condone a government oppressing, showing hostility towards, showing bias towards my people. I don't condone that shit. So before we get into any other condemnations and what we don't condone, let's not condone the root first. Let's not condone a government with biased policies, biased policing, biased imprisoning, biased ghettos, biased school systems. Let's not condone that shit first, black people especially. Before you go condemning your people, go condemn the people that's been causing the injury to your people. And then for the other humanitarians of the world, I say this not as an activist. I'm not even an activist. I'm an entrepreneur, a pretty successful one, and I'm a humanitarian. If black people were in the position, if African people in America were in the position of Europeans in America, but Europeans were going through what Africans are going through, I'd be fighting for Europeans in America. I'm fighting for the underdogs. I'm fighting for those least amongst us. I'm following the example of Christ. It just so happens those least amongst us are my people. So I don't do this as a black activist. I do this as a humanitarian who understands that human rights of my people are being violated in America and have been violated, and we got a solution. The first solution, I don't care what no leader tells you, whoever you follow, however charismatic, and however whatever they say, it's not the micro solution, it's the macro solution. The first solution is the flag behind me. It's African people in America uniting around their own flag, pulling them own selves up by their bootstraps, being accountable to our own culture, our own self, the uplifting of our own women, our own men, our own school curriculums, our own banking, our own financing, our own money, but we cannot do that until we acknowledge ourselves as our own selves, our own identity. Until we get the Black Vote Day, and we choose our name, our identity for ourselves. And not only does that boost the self-esteem and the morale of us as a people, and we take our nationhood into our own hands, we also then legally have the ability to take the United States of America to world court to address the human rights violations against our people for the last 398 years. That's the solution. Don't let no other leader tell you any other different. That's the solution. And then from there, we can organize effectively. We can boycott effectively. We can buy black effectively. But before you can do that, you must identify who we are, who us is. You want to do business, then what's the business then? And so that's our solution to how we stop the oppression, so we ain't got to talk about the issues all the time. I don't get to the issue, like the solutions. But before you go condemning your people, make sure you take just an affirmative stance and bold stance at your job, on your Facebook, with your friends of other ethnicities or nationalities, on national TV. Make sure you take that same stance against the oppressor of your people, which we can prove has been the oppressor of your people, factually, statistically. So you got to ask yourself, what is oppression? I gave you the definition of oppression. If not, Google it yourself. And then ask yourself, is the American government oppressive towards black people based on a definition of oppression? I said, does the American government hate black people? Google the word hate. It says repugnance, aversion, antipathy, mislike. Then Google those words. Google aversion, Google repugnance, Google mislike. And then ask yourself, does the American government, by its actions, mislike, hate, show feelings of aversion or repugnance towards black people, African people in America? And if the answer is yes, it tells you everything. You don't got to listen to me. Answer for yourself. Do your own math. So if we can prove there's oppression towards our people, and has been since the existence of our people in this country, and continues to happen even under a black president, or a woman president, or a Trump president, it don't matter who the president is going to be. Y'all so silly caught up in the goddamn vote. The system is broken. The system is biased. The system is a business model created to leverage the free and cheap labor of African people in America. It will not change until African people in America take a stance and sit at the table like big boys and girls, like the kings and queens we are. How do we take that stance? I gave you the solution, the flag behind me, red, black, and green. United Africans in America. That's your solution. You're playing yourself thinking anything different. And I don't care what we do. I don't care if you're Charles Payne, y'all want to call him Uncle Tom or Coon, or if it's Queen, y'all want to call her crazy or whatever. I call us all kings and queens. I don't care if you're the dope boy, you're the stripper, you're the Uncle Tom, you're the Coon. I don't care what you are, you're a king and queen to me, because we all dealing with our trauma differently. We all dealing with this experience differently. Everybody deals with this oppression differently. Some of us is talented as shit. God done blessed us. He done made a path for us. We can skate on out. We can weave our way through. That don't make us better than the next king or queen who maybe deals with it differently, has different comprehension level, different life experience. We family. We a nation, family. Before anything, ain't no coons in our nation. Ain't no gangsters in our nation. Ain't no hoes in our nation. It's kings and queens dealing with oppressive treatment, dealing with trauma, post-traumatic slavery disorder. That's what it is. This is what black love looks like. So, before you speak ill on our queen who got murdered yesterday, whether she was in the right or the wrong, before you could get to her potential wrong, or before you get to Gavin Long's potential wrong, or Michael Johnson's potential wrong, would they ever been in a position to commit that wrong, to even make up in their head to take those acts, had they not suffered this treatment that we all have suffered in this country as Africans in America? Would they ever even been in that mind state? So before you blame the kidnapped person in the house for acting out and lashing out against the kidnapper, ask them, would they ever have lashed out against the kidnapper or the kidnapper's affiliates had they ever not been kidnapped? And then while kidnapped, treated like, okay. Always go to the root. Before you blame your own people, go to the root of the condition of your people. Young Malcolm, peace.